Welcome to week number 1 of the study of Ombre Afghan. Today we're going to get started. We're going to do rounds number 1 through 10 today. We have a crochet diagram and written instructions, and of course this tutorial to be able to help you. All the instructions that we have are going to be provided to you right off the hop, in the sense that each one of the abbreviations that are throughout the whole pattern will be provided to you here on week number 1. So you'll see a lot of abbreviations, but this doesn't mean that it's just in this week, but it's throughout the whole thing. So we have the 6 balls that are required, 2 of one color, 2 of another, 2 of another. Red Heart Super Saver Ombre is what I used. This is more of a sunny days, this is more of the jewel tones, and you can decide. I also provided the week information on what the diameter should be when it comes to that, and then what the square is once we convert this then from a circle to a square. We have tips that are scattered, like peppered throughout this whole thing. You will notice that when we go to join all rounds with a slip stitch to the first stitch, so to save the paperwork, basically I say join, so it's just a join all rounds with a slip stitch to the first unless otherwise stated. We also have chain 2 at the beginning of the round. Do not count as a stitch throughout this whole thing. This helps us to keep count a lot better. And chain 3 at the beginning of the counts as a DC. Here on page number 2 we have all the abbreviations that are throughout this whole pattern. You'll be able to find that, and that will be downloadable right off on week number 1. Week number 1 we also have here rounds number 1 through 10. We're going to be creating the center piece here. It's going to be amazing and it's going to be fabulous. Here in the pattern as well, whenever there's a color change, I'm going to rely on you to do that. So that has that information, but you should know that weeks 1 and 2 are pretty much here as the same yarn ball. What we also have here is there's going to be notes that you'll see in gray, and the way that I design is that I think about, let me show you the diagram and talk to you about that, is that I think about a clock. And so originally you'll start and you'll have a 6 piece of a clock, so 6 pie slices, and then eventually it will change to more pie slices. So you'll be seeing notes about that throughout the pattern, and it helps you to understand the repeat patterns as you go. Because we are working in a round, once you understand the repeat in the one section, it's the same in the next and the next and the next. So without further ado, we're going to get ourselves started today, and we're going to start the study of Ombre with round number 1. Please use the hook that you decided to do with your gauge check, and if you're deciding not to do a gauge and taking a chance on that, you will be required to use a 5mm size H crochet hook. But if you don't do a gauge check and you have a buckling issue, that is up to you to be able to problem solve later. So let's begin the study of Ombre.
Time is gone and I grew up. I somehow made it through without losing.
Today's color for the sample is called Scuba. So it's Red Heart Super Saver Scuba. So we'll be doing this, and we're going to chain a total of 3 to start. So chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch to the beginning chain to form the center ring. So it'll be a nice tight center. So yarn over and yarn over, or yarn over through both, sorry, and come through, and you'll have the center ring nice and tight to begin. That's to keep the straggler in place, and we'll be crocheting over top of that in just a moment. So this is the beginning chain. In the beginning ring here we're going to chain 1, and we're going to apply 6 single crochets into the center of that tight ring. So let's count those out together. Just keep that straggler around the outside of that ring so you can trap it underneath. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you want to attach it to the first one. If you're not sure, just count it back from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would normally count that even if you weren't watching me, just to verify, and join it with a slip stitch. By the way, if you did go over top of the straggler right here, you can get rid of that now, and you can safely, that will not fall out. So just snap it on the back side, and good. And let's begin number 2. Okay, we're going to begin some cluster work, so we have to start with the beginning cluster, and to do that you're going to chain a total of 2. So 1 and 2, this is part of the beginning, and in the same one at the join you want to finish the beginning cluster. To do that you're going to yarn over and going into the same one as the join, pull through 2 and hold, and do that one more time. So yarn over and in, pull through 2 and hold. Once you have 3 loops on the hook for the beginning version, you're going to chain, or sorry, you're just gonna pull through all 3. So yarn over, pull through all 3. You're now going to chain a total of 3. So 1, 2, 3, and come into the next one and do a full regular cluster. So yarn over, going into the next stitch, pull through 2 and hold, and do that 2 more times. So yarn over and in, pull through 2 and hold, and yarn over and in, pull through 2 and hold. Once you see a total of 4 loops, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops, and then chain 3 to move on. And do the same thing. So you're gonna have a total count of 6 of these that you see all the way around, and I'll see at the end of round number 2 in a moment. Coming around to round number 2, after you get the last cluster, do not forget that you need to chain 3 and join to the top of the first cluster to finish. And when I joined it, just so you know, I'm joining it to where I pulled all 3 together into the same. Okay, and then we're gonna join and move on to round number 3. So you should see 6 spokes at this point. Right where you're sitting, I need you to chain 1. So we're in round number 3. So chain 1, and in this big space that you see, you're going to apply 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2, chain 2, and 2 more single crochets. We're gonna do that in each one of these chain 3 spaces. To get to this next space first, you gotta chain 1 and then do the same thing that you just did. So 2 single crochet, chain 2, and 2 single crochet. And then to jump over, chain 1 and do that again. Please do that all the way around for round number 3. After you get that last space in on the round number 3 here, you're going to make sure that you chain 1 before joining it to the first single crochet that you started with over here. Okay, and that concluded then round number 3. Let's start round number 4. Right where you're currently sitting, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to single crochet in that same spot. So this will leave you a single crochet before this chain 2 space on a corner. So what we have in this space is that there's going to be 2 double crochets first, and then there's going to be a treble. So wrap the hook twice and treble, and then 2 more double crochets into that same spot. After you get that one done, the first one is kind of hidden here. There's a single crochet that kind of gets slammed out of the way. You're not gonna worry about it. You're gonna go into this one, and it's the one before the chain 1 space, if that helps you to know that. So you'll single crochet into that one. You'll slip stitch into this space here. So slip, and the first one after the space single crochet is a single crochet, and then you'll do the next point here. So then it will be just 2 double crochets to start, and then a treble, and then 2 double crochets. Then after that one's done, the first one you see kind of gets slammed underneath. So don't worry about that one. Just go to the one just before the chain 1 space, single crochet, slip stitch into the chain 1 space, and then single crochet into the next single crochet that's available to you. Jump the next single crochet and just do the same thing of 2 double crochet, 1 treble, 2 double crochet, and continue to repeat this around. I'll be back at the end of the round. As you're coming back around, you're just continuing the steps as you know it, and you're going to end, don't forget to do the slip stitch into that chain 1 space, and then just join with the slip stitch to the first single crochet. So it kind of looks like an opening of a flower. Before we begin number 5, we have to fasten this off. I forgot, sorry. And we need to fasten this off, and we need to weave in our tails. The reason for it is that if I get you to slip stitch where you are to where you need to be, it's gonna be very obvious. So we're gonna turn this over, and to do any loose ends throughout this whole project, I'll just demonstrate it in today's tutorial only, and the rest of the tutorials you can figure it out on your own. And all you just need to do is just weave it through the back side. I would take care of any loose ends as you go, and therefore you'll have a nice project. And when you're doing your updates on Facebook or social media, you always have no tails hanging out. It'll make you feel proud, probably more proud of yourself. So just weave it back and forth on the back side a total of 3 times, and then once you're satisfied with that, just trim it and you're good to go. And now we're ready for number 5. Okay, let's begin, and we need to start at the top of any one of these points that you see, and we're gonna start with the back post single crochet as a standing version. To do that, I need you to put the yarn on the hook, and I need you to grab the middle treble by the back post. So just coming from the back side and back out. You are then going to yarn over and pull through, but do not pull through the original one, and now you have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the 2, and that is a standing single crochet in the back post. So maybe you learned something today, who knows. So now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and what I need you to do is that I need you to focus down here, okay, and we're going to be focusing onto we're going to be focusing on the top of this treble here. We're going to be focusing on top of this here cluster. So when you go in and you do your 5 double crochets, you're not just going in the front end, you're going all the way through it. So you're just gonna stick your hook right through the top of the cluster. So just yarn over and stick it right through the project itself to the back, and yarn over, pull through. And once you get the first one, it's easy to see the rest of them. Okay, and you're gonna pull through, and then you're gonna pull through 2 and 2. So you've now just done a double crochet encasing the other rounds underneath inside this stitch. So you need to do 4 more of these. So in the same cluster, just going in, go to the back of the project, pull through 2 and 2. And this is going to provide some amazing texture. Once those 5 are done, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to look for the middle one of the grouping of 5. It's the treble, and you're going to do a single crochet in the back post. So just go into the back post of the treble and back out to the back, pull through and pull through 2, and we're gonna repeat what we just did. So chain 2, look for the next cluster that is down here, yarn over, going through the top of that cluster all the way to the back side, pull through, and you'll do 5 of those. Okay, good. Once you have that done, you'll chain 2, single crochet single crochet back post on the middle treble once again, and then chain 2 and continue to do what you already know, the 5 double crochet in the top of the clusters. Please do that around, and this is round number 5. Once you come around to number 5, you're just going to slip stitch to the top of the beginning standing back post single crochet, and you're done. So you can see it's really neat. So even if you change colors other than just letting the colors flow, you can see that it's got a lot of neat texture in this. Let's begin round number 6 next. Let's begin number 6. This round may blow your mind, but my mind was blown a long time ago, so join the club. So you're going to slip stitch in the first 2 chains that you have. We need to get ourselves to the middle of these 5 double crochets. So we're just gonna slip stitch through the middle, or sorry, through these 2 chains that are in the way. So through and through, and then we're going to slip stitch in the next 2 double crochets. And then we're going to then really have some fun. So we're going to chain 1 at this point, and right here in the center one, what we have to do is 3 single crochets in the front post. So in the middle one, so put 3 single crochets in the front post. So we have 1, 2, and 3. But wait, there's more. I sound like Ron Popeil. We are now going to put 5 double crochets into the front post of the middle treble here. Currently this here is around the back post of the same stitch. You're going to access this from the front post, and you're gonna go just a little bit lower than that back post where it's secured. So let's just do it and see how it goes. So yarn over and access the front post. It's the middle one, and you'll do 5 there. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once that's done, you are going to come to the middle one of the grouping of 5 and put in 3 single crochets in the front post. So all of this is in the front post. So 1, 2, 3. Once those are done, you come to the middle one of down here and access the front post. It's the treble in the front post. If you're not sure, the back post is grabbing the same stitch, and you're just gonna put 5 double crochets into there, into the front post. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once that's done, you reach over to the middle one of the grouping of 5 and 3 single crochets, and I need you to do this all the way around. This is round number 6. Once we get that last piece in there, it's the 5 front post double crochets. You're just going to attach it to the first single crochet that was in the front post that you did. So technically when we started this round we were over here and we slip stitched, so we're attaching to the first single crochet that was actually created. And so you'll see the texture is amazing, and let's continue to round number 7. So you'll see in my tip, we've currently been working with 6 spokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this 7th round we're now going to be expanding into 12 spokes as we continue our journey today. We're going to start by slip stitching to the center single crochet front post, which is the very next stitch, and you need to chain a total of 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, that's a double crochet. 4, 5, 6 is a chain 3 space. And what you need to do in the center one where you came out of, you need to double crochet. You're essentially becoming to the point you're creating these V stitches around, and it's going to end up with 12 spokes instead of 6. To move on to the next spoke, you need to chain a total of 2 and come to the middle one of the next piece right here, and you are going to do a double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet, all in that same stitch. And then you're gonna move on. So chain 2 to move on, and then you're gonna come to the next one. It's the middle one of the single crochet front post. So you'll do a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, and then you look for the middle one of the grouping of 5 here, and it will be a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, then chain 2 to move on, and then you're looking for the middle one of the single crochet front post. So you end up with a really nice kind of a lacy look at the end of this round, and you'll notice that there will be 12 of these V stitches that you'll see. Please do this around. This is round number 7. So after you get the last V stitch in, don't forget to chain 2, and then you're just going to slip stitch it to the 3rd chain up in the beginning of where you started. And that will conclude then round number 7. And you should be able to count a total of 12 of these V-stitches around. Please move on, and let's move on to number 8. So let's get you started on round number 8. It may look a little confusing, but let's just go for it and see what happens. Right where you're currently sitting, you just need to slip stitch into the chain 3 space to get ourselves started. Chain 1, and we're gonna create a petal right from the start. The petal is in the special abbreviations, and you'll see it on the diagram as well. The petal consists of 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 1 treble crochet. That's half of your petal. And then you just go opposite to what you just did. So this treble is the middle. So then you have to go back to then a double crochet, a half double crochet to get smaller, and then a single crochet. But wait, there's more. What you need to do at this point is that you need to skip over to this chain 2 space, and you're going to single crochet and then provide a cluster into the space right here. Okay, so when you do the cluster, you just gotta pull up some slack. So you're just gonna yarn over and go into the space right here and pull up, and just pull up enough slack so that it will not compress things too much, and yarn over, pull through 2, and do that 2 more times. So yarn over into there, noticing that I am not going over top of the entire project. Okay, so I'm working in front. Okay, so it's not going over there. And do it one more time. Once you see 4 loops, you can yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and there is your cluster into that space there. Before you continue then, you need to move on, and you are going to single crochet still into this chain 2 space before you move on. Okay, so just remember that in the chain 2 space you're going to have these clusters that come down here. Now let's do a full repeat. The chain 3 space in the V-stitch is a full petal, so just reach on over and start. So you'll single crochet, you'll half, you'll double, you'll treble. That's halfway through. Then you're gonna get smaller again, so you're going to double and half and single. The next chain 2 space, you're going to single crochet in the space first, so you're going to cluster into the space right here. So just yarn over and just go into that space only, stay in the front, provide a little slack, pull through 2. You do that 3 times like I showed you. Yarn over, pull through all 4, and in the same chain 2 space single crochet. Here's another petal, so we're gonna provide the petal. So you start with the single, half, double, treble, and then go back down again. So double, half, and single. And let's just review what we're doing. So just in the next chain 2 space, just come on in, single crochet, and you're gonna come into the space down here, and you're going to do that cluster. Once you see your 4 loops, pull through all 4 in the same chain 2 space, single crochet again, and then do your petal. And I need you to repeat this all the way around, and you will see that there's going to be 12 petals, and there'll also be 12 of these clusters, if that helps you to know that. And just continue the journey around, and I'll see you at the end of this round, number 8. When you get back around to number 8, don't forget that you still have this cluster to put in, and then after the last single crochet in the chain 2 space, you're then just going to slip stitch and join to the first single crochet that started the petals when we started. Okay, and that's what it looks like. It was kind of confusing round, but just bear with it and you will see the texture is just amazing. Before we begin to number 9, we need to fasten off again, and we need to get ourselves to a different point to where we are, and if we slip stitch it'll become really obvious. So just fasten off, weave in your ends, and then we're gonna continue round number 9 at a new spot. Number 9 is the stitch I came up with, and I have another stitch in the future that I think I've come up with as well, and this one is really interesting. So we're only gonna be playing in the top of these clusters that came down, and we're only gonna be playing in the top of the treble that is in the point. Everything else is just kind of balance and stay in between. You watch. So when we go to join, we need to join to the middle treble of any one of these petals. You can do a standing single crochet if you want to, because that's what I prefer, but if you don't want to, just join it, chain 1 and single crochet. If you are doing a standing, just put it onto the hook, pull through, see the 2 loops, pull through the 2, and that's a standing single crochet, and weave in the ends from that. So we're now going to begin to the top of this cluster here, and we're going to do what I call as a small double crochet cluster. To do that, you're going to yarn over and go into the top of this cluster and insert in, pull through 2 and hold, and do that one more time. So yarn over and in, pull through 2 and hold. Once you see the 3 loops, pull through all 3. That is a small double crochet cluster. After this cluster is done, you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. We're now going to do a treble cluster, and the treble cluster is going to go completely around the 2 double crochets that you just made. So you're going to wrap the hook twice and go around those 2 stitches. It puts those inside, and you're going to pull through 2 and hold. Do not finish that treble. You'll do that again. So yarn over twice and around the same 2, pull through 2 and hold, and once you see the 3 loops, you'll pull through all 3, and that was a treble cluster, and this one will lie down on its side. Brilliant, right? Now you're going to just reach on over and just single crochet the top of the point here, which is the treble, and then you're going to begin that all over again. So right where you're sitting, you're going to reach for this cluster, and you're going to do a small double crochet cluster. So wrap the hook going in, pull through 2 and hold. Same one, yarn over and in, pull through 2 and hold. Once you see the 3 loops, pull through all 3, and before you begin the treble cluster, you need to chain 3 first to give it space, and then using those 2 that you just made, make a treble cluster around those 2. I was just playing around one day and I thought, oh, that's kinda neat. Okay, and then you attach it to the middle one. I'll show one more time. Top of this cluster, it's a small double crochet cluster. Chain 3. This allows it to expand over, and then using those, make those a treble cluster. And you'll notice that this whole treble clusters will be lying on its side as you go around, and then just come to the top of the next one and rinse and repeat, I guess you can say, and do that around, and that's what it will look like. When you get all the way around on number 9, you've already done the single crochet in the middle one, so after this last treble is in, you're just going to slip stitch to the first single crochet that you started with. Now you may notice that it may be buckling a little bit. Do not panic. Do not collect $200 and go, but just don't panic and things will work out. You'll see. So let's continue to the final round for today's video, number 10. So continuing where you are, you're just going to start number 10 and you'll chain 1 and single crochet in the same stitch as the single crochet join. Now these chain 3s that are the trebles that are lying on their side, and you know how we chain 3 before we applied this treble cluster in, those are where you're going to be playing, and each one of those around are going to have 7 double crochets in it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Once you get that one done, you're going to single crochet in the next single crochet, and then just look for the next chain 3 space, which is part of that cluster, right? And you'll apply 7 double crochets there too, and you'll do that all the way around. So this is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and continue along, single crochet into the next single crochet, and then use those. And this will be what we're gonna do, and this is round number 10, and I'll see you at the end of the round to conclude today's tutorial. So I'm coming around and I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet, and this is where we'll end our story today. So this is the end of round number 10. You notice it's kind of sitting up on me. I'm not worrying about this yet. I don't need to, and when you just push it down a little bit, it'll be fine. So we're going to continue, and we'll see you next time on week number 2 for the study of Ombre Afghan. We're just gonna use the same hook. I may use the same yarn and just keep it on going, and we're going to be experiencing the next few rounds in the next tutorial. And I'll see you then, and have a great week, and make sure you post your stuff on Facebook, because we want to see. And I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.